Yeah, Kathleen, Kevin, that's some great information. It's an area that we're all going to be keeping an eye on. And really what I want to take just a couple of minutes here as we wrap up our hour with you is to talk about some of the things that we did with our CCH Answer Connect tax research platform. Um, when we built CCH Answer Connect, we really wanted to focus on a tax research workflow. How best can we put together all the information that is required and necessary to complete a project without making the researcher having to guess where it's at or go to different locations to find it. So we're just going to take a couple of quick minutes here to take a look at this. We're going to start out by doing a research on the research and development. Just tie into the 174, as Kathleen and Kevin have spent a lot of time focusing on that. What I want to point out first of all is how we've started to compile information and present content to it, to the user. And as we did this, we also wanted to focus on the different type of research styles that were out there. Do we have someone who is focused on keyword searching? Is that how they get into the contents that they're looking for? Looking for more of that explanative information, overview of the topic, or is the user looking to go directly into a code section, assuming that they know that? And how best can we, again, present that content? So from this point, we've begun pointing out informations that are available to you as a researcher. The topic pages being that explanative content that will walk you through the concept. Kathleen covered a lot of information on 174. The presentation style of the topics is very, very similar to what Kathleen has walked through with us. What I'm going to do right now, though, is actually go in and grab my selected suggested search and run a full search on research and development to show you a little bit how you can get into this content. The very first piece that we have is those topic pages that we have covering the content. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and let's take a quick look at how that research workflow has been put together within a specific topic page and how it will lead you to additional content. What you'll notice first and foremost, we've been talking about the pre and post 12/31/2021 content related to this topic. This topic page is actually going to walk you through what specific areas, depending on time frame you're looking at, are the requirements that you need to be aware of, whether it's pre January 1st or post January 21st. Without making everyone dizzy here, we'll scroll down a little bit, but again, here's some of the content we have available. I'm going to scroll down a little bit further as we walk again through the research process related to this topic. And you'll notice what we've come down to now is our code section. We're going to hop back into this in a moment, but again, the editorial team is pulling all of this information here together for you. We've pulled together client letters. If you need to do some sort of communication on the change with your clients, we have those available to you as well. Any smart charts that we have on the topic, practice aids. Again, this is information that has always been available as part of a research platform. Again, we've just tried to focus on that workflow. How can we bring all the information together to you as the researcher to make you the most efficient we can as part of this process? We've added our news. If there's continuing legislation, cases coming out, these are going to be posted out here in our news section. We again wanted to bring this information to you. I'm going to hop over really quickly and take a look at our code section. There we go. Sorry about that. And again, this is where we focus very, very hard on what that tax research workflow looks like. If you'll notice across the top, we have a bunch of tabs. We actually entitled this our 360 view, that complete circular view of all this content, where we've put together the code section in its entirety. What I do want to point out here is we do allow the researcher to toggle back between pre and post, old law versus what the new law is currently. So you have that ability. Kathleen had talked about some of the regulations. We also make those available for you here as well. All of the CCH explanations, so if you need to get more specific into the actual sections and subsections of code section 174, we have that discussion here for you. You'll notice, again, more discussion on the pre and the post. The cases, administrative guidance, and annotations. Again, Kathleen had mentioned some of the cases that are out there that are being legislated. You'll have visibility to those here as well. So a great piece of information. We talked a little bit about the tools on the topic page, but we've also brought those to you directly as part of this 360 view from the code section. One of the things that we ended that conversation with Kathleen and Kevin was, what is the impact at the state level? This is where we've taken, again, tax research as the workflow to the next level for you. So as you finished up your federal research project, you now need to take a look at the impact at the state level. In this case, we'll use California as our example. What we are now doing is giving you that high level view of what is California doing in relation to Section 174. Have they adopted it in its entirety? Have there been modifications to it? What is their thinking? And it's, again, as Kevin mentioned, going to be very, very important in the coming months as we see if this is going to be upheld or changed at some level at the federal piece. And from here, you're able to actually launch directly into the California content and walk through step by step, again, using that 360 view for that content. One last piece I do want to touch before we wrap up our time here together is another way that we've presented this content to you, and it's via our news feed. One of the things that we worked very, very hard at is being able to take this type of content, specifically the expenditure deduction, and we've created what we call a client impact event. And we do this for any type of significant legislation, rulings, court cases that are going to have an impact on a large number of researchers. And we have now taken this news piece and made it actionable, where we walk you through exactly what this 174 was all about, the planning opportunities that are out there, if there's any effective dates, timings that you need to be made aware of, if there's any additional recommended content. Again, we push you then into the primary source, practice aids, all of that information pulled together for you as part of the research process.